well, I mean, everything about her story just made me want to be a part of telling it. And you know, there's this definitely added pressure and responsibility you have when you're telling a story about somebody who is still alive and still, and because you want them to feel proud of it and feel like you did it justice. So luckily, when I did finally meet her a couple weeks before we started shooting, she was just so amazing and supportive and down to earth, and we were really instant friends. So I felt very lucky.
Now for you, we've seen a lot of war movies before, but this just felt so fresh and so different and unique. And I felt like we weren't bombarded with politics or anything else. It was just like her and her journey with her dog. How did you manage to balance and like keep it that way instead of, going different places at
Right.
times?
Right. I mean, I think like that is tipping my hat off to the writers and things like that, because I think they had that specifically in mind. And I think for me, it was just making sure I'm loyal to that and making sure that even though I'm very, very, open and I sort of feel, affected, I guess, by big things like war. I've done documentaries in the past about them. I care very much about these issues and depicting them properly. And so for me, it was like, okay, sometimes you have to just realize that you are charged with doing this one thing right. And then if you do that right, and that is the relationship between Megan and Rex, if you do that right, you will be able to earn the rest of it. And the rest of it will feel at least authentic. And so I think that was something that I had to kind of learn that discipline and remind myself of.
Now, Kate, there was physical training and then there was training with Rex or Varco, the dog that you brought on set. How was that experience? It was assuming a little bit different because there's two ways that you have to bond, with
Yeah, well, the physical stuff is more straightforward, and I was able to start the physical training the moment I read the script, which was nice because I have this great trainer here in LA that was, giving me like mini boot camp things every day. And then when it got closer to actually shooting, I was surrounded by all of these amazing experts, Marines, and actually Megan was very involved in, any questions I had about how do I do this or that with the dog. She was always there. But actually training with Varco was, super unique. And it was a lot of it was about bonding and getting him to trust me, but also showing him that I'm in control. And I've had dogs my whole life, but I've never had a dog this big before. So I'm used to, little tiny Boston Terriers. And so having to sort of switch the mindset of, no, this dog actually weighs more than you, but you need to be the one that's in control of it. And a lot of that is really mental.
Now, both as females, do you think there's a shorthand when it comes to working on a film together based on a female lead and having a female director? Do you think there's a shorthand between you?
Yeah, well, for us there is.
For us, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, she would just come up to me sometimes and just be like, and I would go, oh, no, I know. And she'd walk away. But we're also friends, so that helped. But I've never experienced anything like that before. She would just kind of come up to me and either like give me a hug or just say one word.